Hello, I'm Troy Parker, president of Innovative Labor and Cleaning. This is another Mental Health Monday. I want to talk to you about judgment. You know, many times something will happen, could be at work, could be something we read in the paper. A lot of us will quickly form a judgment. Most times everyone decides, is this a good thing or a bad thing? And if it's bad, then we get our feelings and we'll say, well, no, that's terrible. Then we begin to judge, whatever happened. Well, he shouldn't have did this and she shouldn't have did that and they shouldn't have did this and whatnot. All of this pulls us into a negative stream of energy. And you might say, well, okay, what's that have to do with anything? That energy that you're using in these type of situations is energy that you could use and rechannel to achieve your goal. Now, a lot of people will tell you, well, I don't have time to do this or I don't have time to do that. But you'll notice they'll spend lots of time talking about, it could be a political issue, it could be something that happened in their life, but gossiping, judging, and they'll talk about these things all day long. If you ever notice, people will quickly talk about something negative and continue to talk about it all day long. And in most cases, it doesn't even affect them. It'll be something that's going on with some celebrity somewhere else. Or it'll be something that, going on in another country. And when you stop and ask them, like, okay, well, how's that gonna affect you? They'll just look at you with a blank face like, but they've taken hours talking about it. But there's things that go on and, they'll talk about things in Washington and this is going on with that. And most of the time, the thing they're talking about never happens. So judgment, when things happen, try to practice non-judgment. In other words, just simply say, I'm not going to judge any events or situations or people that I come across today. So an event happens, okay? You go into Starbucks or wherever you get your coffee. Instead of, immediately, judging him and say, well, he was just rude. Just you be the polite person that you are, send forth love and go on about your day. But if you don't, and you sit there and say, well, he was rude, then you get mad. Now you've taken on that negative energy. Now you're upset because he was rude to you. And then when you go out, you're gonna get in your car and the first person to talk to you, I was just in Starbucks. And this guy, he was just rude to me. And then now you see where your day will begin to start slowly piddling downhill. Because now you're gonna become agitated or upset. And the next person you talk to, because then your phone rings and you're like, hello, who is this? You're gonna be agitated, so now you send out negative energy to them. So of course, what are they gonna do? They're like a mirror. They're gonna reflect back. And it'll be somebody like, say, your boss calling. He's like, it's me, Harry. And where you at? And now he becomes irritated because you're irritated, but he doesn't even know why he's irritated because he's just picking up on your energy because you were irritated from the Starbucks man who irritated you. But we fall into these unconscious traps of judgment. And it's usually of some event that had we just been conscious of. And when I say conscious of, when it happens, we immediately, before we shift into, I can't believe he said that, and get upset and start judging like that. He's so rude, he's unprofessional. Stop ourselves and ask ourselves the question, do I want to feel that way? That continuing down this line of thinking is going to make me feel? Or just ask yourself the question, how do I want to feel? If you want to feel good, then you better not start thinking that way. But most people don't put the two together. They will simply say that, I went to Starbucks and that guy, he upset me. Now that guy can no more upset you than the wind. It's how you're thinking about how that guy treated you. See, it's all in here, but we believe it's all out there. You hear people say, oh, they pissed me off today. And you say, well, what happened? And then when you get to the bottom, I was like, they didn't piss him off. They said this, and he immediately got upset, and that's how it went. So always remember, the control of how you feel, the thermostat of how you feel, you control it. And many times practicing non-judgment, when an event happens, someone calls you and says something to you that maybe they don't say it the right way. Maybe it's not really what they said, it's how they said it. Like, hey, can you get those reports to me right away? And then hangs up. Now you go, wait a minute. How you just call me, just order me around like I'm a servant? Instead of doing that, stop, hang up the phone, and say, well, how do I want to feel? Because if you follow the video we did on morning routine, we got up this morning, we're feeling grateful. We want to feel positive. I get to go to work. So we're trying to keep ourselves building. So then you get the phone call, hey, get those reports to me. Hey, Chef, how do I want to feel? Do you want to now go from here to start falling down here? No, you want to keep going up. So you're going to say, well, I don't know what's wrong with whoever called, but maybe they're just having a bad day. Now, sometimes you have to make up a reason for people because it helps us process. And a lot of times we don't know. We see people flying down the highway and they cut us off, and I've talked about this before, but you never know. They could be rushing to the hospital because their husband, wife, mother, grandma, whatever, was in an accident. But immediately if we could cut off, like, hey, you dumb bunny, what are you doing? You're trying to kill me. And it has nothing to do with you. But we form that judgment. One is bad, and two, he's trying to kill me. One, it could be something totally different. Take the time to think about and really be conscious when you make these choices, because every day you're choosing. Now, many of you might say, well, how did I do that? Well, I mean, how do I get where you're gonna have to become aware, because right now you're on autopilot. This happens, somebody snaps at you, you've been for 30, 40, 25, however many years, 50, 75 years, you learn to just get upset. And then you'll go over to the coffee pot and say, you know what, Bob just called me and told me to get them damn reports to him right now. I don't believe this. I've been here, I'm a 25-year veteran. And everybody like, he did what? He talked to you that way? Oh my gosh, that's terrible. So we've been conditioned that that's bad. Now, you don't know. Bob could have just found out he had prostate cancer, or his wife has some illness, or his kid is sick. You don't know. But we automatically take it personal. And many times it's not. Many times the person is maybe upset or dealing with something else. And people will say, well, that doesn't make it right. It's not about right or wrong. And that's the judgment coming out. You want it to be like, this is right and this is wrong. It just is. And the real question is, how do you want it to affect you? If you don't want it to affect you, you just let it blow by like the wind. And you just say, well, I guess he's having a bad day, but I'm having a good day because I get to go to work. I get to earn a paycheck. It's all in how you look at it. That's why I always say it's up to you to make your life matter, because you are the one controlling the thermostat of how high you're going to rise or how fast you're going to fall. I hope this video helped. And as always, it's up to you to make your life matter.